Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm wearing a t-shirt today. It is so warm today. I think the high is going to be like almost 70, so it is definitely feeling like a really nice warm spring day, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm usually not a spring person, but I have been enjoying it these days. If you want to hear more about that, I do talk about it a bit more on my other channel, my personal channel. But for today's breakfast, I have yet again another kind of toast. This time it is different. I'm pretty sure I didn't share this with you on the channel just yet. And it is 2 slices, by the way. And this bread is actually apple cinnamon bread. I got it at our local farmer's market. It's very similar to cinnamon raisin bread, but instead of the raisins, of course, there are little bits of apple, like apple chunks. And it's so good. I knew I was going to love this because when I was younger, like growing up, my mom would get like a store-bought brand of apple cinnamon bread, specifically the apple one. And I used to eat it when I was younger, whenever I was sick. And it was just like one of the most comforting things for me. I would have it with butter, or I would have it with like slices of cheddar cheese. So what I'm going with this morning, and what I have been going with in the past few mornings, is just some vegan butter. My favorite is the miyokos vegan butter. It is the oat butter with a hint of sea salt. I know Miyokos has several kinds of butter, so that's the one in the plastic container. Like you all know, or maybe you don't know if you're new, welcome. But if you have been on the channel before, you know that I love me a good balance of salty and sweet, and this hits the spot for that. And I should also say that I made my coffee. I made coffee today. Oh my gosh, I haven't made coffee at home in a really long time, but because I knew that I was having like a sweet bread, I felt like having that alongside a coffee is just perfect. You know, take a bite out of the bread and then a sip of the coffee, and it's just pure bliss. Oh my goodness. It's sort of like a donut and coffee kind of thing, if that makes sense. I have my gigantic emotional support water bottle. A lot of people have been asking me, like, they haven't been asking me, but they've been like, oh my god, that's like the biggest bottle I've ever seen. And it probably looks a lot bigger next to me because I'm a small human, but this is 64 ounces. This is a full 8 cups for the entire day. So I know if I finish this bottle, I have gotten 8 cups of water, which is why I bought it. And also because it is so beautiful with that nice sleek matte black design. I'll link it down below if you're interested. I'm pretty sure there are tons of colors. But yeah, I'm going to definitely savor this moment of my salty sweet thing. By the way, spoiler alert, you're not gonna see the green drink today because I'm having my coffee. Hey friends, it is lunchtime. Very excited to share with you yet again another leftovers edition of today's lunch. I wanted to mention, I hope it's not kind of weird that I share a lot of takeout options. I know not everybody lives in the area that I live in, but hopefully these meals are inspiration to maybe try and see what's in your area. Maybe some restaurants carry some vegan options that you didn't know before. Even if you don't have a lot of things in your area, maybe you can use this as inspiration to recreate these meals at home. I feel like a lot of things that I order for takeout are things that are easily done or easily doable at home to veganize. So yeah, I hope that gives you some inspiration, but let me stop rambling and tell you what I've got here today. It is very similar to last week's meal in that it's just half of a sandwich or wrap with some fries that I had from my takeout over the weekend. So obviously, as you can see, there are some fries right here, some crispy fries that I reheated in the oven. On the side, I have some sauce that I also mentioned last week. It is the Burger Bomb sauce from Sonoma. And I'm just trying to finish it, to be honest with you, because it's super salty, and although it's really delicious, it's so salty that I can't share it with Ian. He can't have it. So I'm just trying to finish it for myself. Perfect time to do it during lunchtime. And then this wrap over here. This is something that I've never had before. And even though I've gone to this place so many times, this is one of their specials. I always link the restaurant in the description box, by the way. But this is a special that they had on their menu from the weekend. And it is called a chicken bacon ranch wrap. So there is a bunch of lettuce in there. There are like chicken tenders, vegan of course. I'm pretty sure it's from Gardein. And then they put in the tempeh bacon. I'm pretty sure it's the Light Life one, which is my favorite. And then there is like a vegan ranch in there. I'm pretty sure it's a homemade one. And it was so, so good. I know this is gonna be delicious. And I hope they keep it as part of their menu because I love me a chicken bacon ranch sandwich or wrap. So yeah, I feel like this burger bomb sauce is better with fries than with burgers. That's lunch. I will check back in with you a little bit later. Hello friends, I want something sweet. I want a snack. And I have something new that I've never tried before. I actually don't even know where you can get this. I spotted it at Orchard Grocer in Manhattan, and I kind of feel skeptical sharing that recommendation because Orchard Grocer in Manhattan is essentially like a vegan grocery store, but they have so many exclusive products and brands there that it is so hard to find it anywhere else. And so whenever I go to Manhattan, I stop by there, I buy like a buttload of things, and it's the only place that I can find stuff. So hopefully if this is good, first of all, we're taste testing this, but if it is good, hopefully you can find this. It is Bumble Smooth. It's a peanut butter flake candy with chocolate. That description reminded me of like Butterfinger. So we'll see. That's like an 1.5 inch square, thick square. Let's see. Oh my God. It tastes almost exactly like a Butterfinger. The only slight variations here are that the chocolate is just a tad bit darker. It doesn't even taste bitter. And then the flakiness on the inside, spot on to Butterfinger. But then it has that touch of peanut butter taste, which I don't think Butterfinger is a very peanutty forward or even peanutty at all. But everything else, spot on. I should have picked up more than one of these. After I did that taste test, I realized I mentioned that I did go to Orchard Grocer and I did get a bunch of stuff. So I figured, why not do a mini haul for you? Now, I did mention that I spent a lot of money when I went, and the things that I'm gonna show you are not a lot, but just know that I bought several of these items just so that I could stock it up into my fridge, freezer, and stuff like that, and that I don't have to go back to Manhattan for a very, very long time. So with that being said, I also got a lot of substitutes. Again, this is just stocking up on stuff. I get a lot of critical comments about like substitutes, vegan substitutes, and that not being healthy. I know it's not the healthiest thing on a vegan diet, but again, these are just random tidbits here and there that I use very, very occasionally. And I just wanted to have them at hand whenever I did want to try something. And I have a feeling that I'm going to share a bunch of these in future videos. So anyway, I got this. I got a couple of these. It's the vegan zeastar, which is the zalmon or salmon sashimi. It's vegan salmon basically, and it is the same exact thing that I used for that smoked salmon recipe that I did a few videos ago when I did the whole cream cheese and smoked salmon thing. So damn good that I had to get this again just for that specific recipe. I also got, oh my gosh, this was the sole reason why I went to Orchard Grocer. I love omnipork so much. It tastes like the real thing. It tastes like real pork. And I would compare this like to Impossible. Like Impossible does beef so well. Omnipork does pork. Spot on. So this was the only container that they had of this. I assume it's extremely popular for the reasons that I've already mentioned, but I bought this to make some vegan pork dumplings. Very exciting. Another omnipork product that I've never tried before, but I picked up because it was there, and I'm a big fan of the plant-based pork style ground. This is the ground, by the way. This is like ground pork. This from Omnipork are like slices. They're like Spam slices, essentially. I think it says plant-based meat style luncheon, which is also known as like Spam. So I got a couple of these because they had a bunch of them there, and I'm going to do like, I think it's called musubi. So I'm gonna do this alongside the vegan pork dumplings, and just, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Another thing that Ian specifically asked for when we were there, these are the vegan drumsticks that we absolutely love. And you see them frequently in a lot of vegan spots in New York, and it is manufactured by All Vegetarian Inc. They do faux meats so well. So yeah, we grabbed a few of those. I also, oh my gosh, this was so exciting to find, but we finally got ourselves a bottle of the Miyokos Creamery Revolutionary Liquid Vegan Pizza Mozzarella. I have not been able to find this anywhere. So when we spotted it at Orchard Grocer, I had to pick it up. I only got one of these because the expiration is a little bit closer on these kinds of products, but so excited to make homemade pizza with this. I've heard amazing things about it. And then the other thing, the last thing that I have to share with you is from Haus. This, I feel like I've mentioned another variety of this product, the chocolate one. It's essentially granola butter, and it tastes like, to me, it tastes like batter. It tastes like brownie batter, the chocolate one. So this one is flavored as cookie dough. So I have a feeling it's gonna taste like cookie dough batter, and it's just so good. You eat it by the spoon, or at least I ate it by the spoon, and it is just good on its own. But Ian likes to put these on like rice cakes. He put these on crackers and stuff. It's so good. I haven't tried it yet, but you'll probably see it in a later video. But yeah, that's my little mini haul. Let me know if you like hauls, by the way. I can definitely do more of these in my what I eat in a day videos, or just maybe haul videos, I don't know, but there you go. Okay friends, it is dinner time. I'm going to be sharing with you what we're gonna have for dinner, and of course I'll show some b-roll afterward, but I'm using this book for tonight's dinner recipe. This is one of my favorite vegan cookbooks of all time. First of all, it's gorgeous, but it is Veganomicon, that's the name of the book. It is written by Isa Chandra Moskowitz. And if you did not know, that person, that author, she owns Modern Love in Brooklyn, and Modern Love is a very, very well-known and well-loved vegan restaurant in New York City. So I highly value her recipes. And so today I'm going to be making this recipe called Mac Daddy. It's essentially just mac and cheese, and yeah, it's her version of mac and cheese. So this recipe, I'm gonna tweak it a little bit. I tend to tweak recipes a lot, but for this recipe, it calls for a homemade cheesy sauce, macaroni, extra firm tofu, salt, olive oil, and lemon juice. So it's a very simple recipe. I think most of the ingredients are gonna go into that cheesy sauce. And I'm not gonna follow the cheesy sauce in this cookbook. I'm kind of gonna go with my own recipe because I'm just gonna try to use up the things that I have in my fridge right now. So I'm gonna make a homemade cheesy sauce. I have a little bit of vegan heavy cream. Actually, let me show you. I have a little bit of this left over from a previous recipe. It's the Silk dairy-free heavy whipping cream. I found this at Whole Foods. It was on sale, so I picked it up, and in a past recipe it was fantastic. So I'm just gonna finish this up, add that to my cheesy sauce. I'm gonna use vegan cheese because I don't have any nutritional yeast with me right now. So I'm gonna get that cheesy flavor from vegan cheese, and I'll probably use some veggie broth or water to thin this all out to make like a creamy cheesy sauce that is going to hold enough for a big box here of whole grain elbows, which are like macaroni. And then this recipe also calls for extra firm tofu and lemon juice and stuff, and that's supposed to kind of like mash together and make a homemade ricotta. But I lucked out. By earlier this week, I made a recipe using my own homemade vegan ricotta. So I actually have a bunch of it left over. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna make my own cheese sauce. I have my own vegan ricotta here. The recipe is gonna be linked down below. I have it on my blog. And then I'm gonna mix everything together. I have some broccolini that I chopped up and prepared, so I'm gonna throw that in there as well. Mix everything together, put it into the oven, and bake it off, and that'll be that. So I'm using the base of this recipe from Veganomicon, but the actual like word for word recipe I am not gonna follow. I'm kind of just gonna do my own thing, but hopefully that should be just fine. You'll see what it looks like once it's finished. I imagine it's gonna be really nice and velvety and creamy thanks to this vegan heavy whipping cream. And I wanted to add a little bit of veg, so I put in a bit of broccolini there as well. I find this recipe to be interesting because it calls for ricotta, and I've never really had mac and cheese before with ricotta into it, but I imagine that's just an extra attempt to make things very creamy and velvety. So I'm a fan of it and I think it's gonna be great. And I hope it looks as delicious as it sounds to me right now. But that is all for this week's video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching my videos, sticking around, subscribing. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you in next week's video.